What's up YouTube? I'm Vaughn and this is the Gear channel where we discuss collectibles, hobbies, cabaret games from tabletop to video games, and today we are back with another Digimon TCG first place meta deck, and it's none other than Beelzemon. So even though Impmon is restricted to 1, we still seen that this deck is actually getting first place quite a bit. So there was actually a few Beelzemon first place decks, and I chose this one because I felt like it was the most balanced one, and it did introduce one new card in it as well. So that's why I was really focusing on doing a deck profile of this specific winner. But all in all, it's a great deck and it's still doing quite well in today's format. Now, before we begin, friendly reminder as always to like and subscribe because it really helps the channel a lot and I do really appreciate it. So let's get right into it. So they're playing 4 Pagumon. So this is the structure deck 6, which is on deletion, trust the top 2 cards of your deck. Quite good. Then we have 3 Impmons from BT2, which is when destroyed, discard 3 cards from the top of your deck. And then they have 1 Impmon from BT6. So this is the on play. You may trust 1 card from your hand, and if you do, return 1 Digimon with 7 Great Demon Lord or 3 Musketeers, which is really good because it gives a little bit of diversity and selection, especially when you're choosing what to add back into your hand. So it's definitely a good alternative, and I see why people are playing this at 1, because besides the X Antibody Impmon, this gives you a different of selection, and especially if you don't have option cards in your hand and you have to choose to trust something else, this gives you a really good option as well to get those key cards. Then we have 1 Impmon of EX2, which all of you guys are definitely familiar with what this card does. That's why it was hit to 1. Okay, next we have the new Impmon promo, which they're playing 3 of, and this is the security ability. So if it's in the security, at the end of the battle, you could play a purple level 3 Digimon from your chest without paying its cost, then add this card to your hand. So you just actually plus quite a bit. You know what? I feel like you might want to maximize on this because no matter on the location, it's still a really good card. So you could even use it for other purposes as well. So I would actually play 4 instead. Then they're playing 3 Impmon structure decks, which is surprising. I thought you were maxed out on this one as well, since you're relying more on getting like the 20 cards and swinging with Beelzemon. So when attacking, if you have 20 or more cards in your chest, you could digivolve this one with a Beelzemon in your chest for 3, so which is really good. And then it has the inherent: when this card is trashed from the deck, delete one of your opponent's level 3 Digimon when a card is trashed. So this is actually an ability that a lot of people forget about, and it's also a mandatory ability, so you always have to play this ability. Then they're playing 2 Impmon X Antibody. So Digivolve 0 over Impmon. On play, when Digivolving by trashing 1 option card from your hand, you may return 1 Digimon with Evil, Wizard, or Demon Lore in its traits from your trash to your hand. So like I said, with the other Impmon, it gives different alternatives as well. So it's quite good. So really nice card. When attacking, also once per turn, trust the top 2 cards of your deck. So really rushes. Then we have 4 Beelzemon, which gains a memory if it's trash. Then we have, oh, I didn't even see the number. That was kind of fast. So 4 Beelzemon X Antibody. So when Digivolving, trust the top 2 cards of your deck. If this Digimon has Beelzemon or X Antibody and its Digivolution, this gains blocker instead. Now, a lot of people don't realize that it's one or the other, okay? So if you Digivolve over Beelzemon, then that means it becomes a blocker. If you Digivolve anything other than a Beelzemon or something with X Antibody, then you trust the top 2. Okay, and when attacking, trust the top 2 cards of your deck, so really good. Okay, so we have 4 Balmon, which is when Digivolving, trust the top 3 cards of your deck. When Digivolving until the end of your opponent's turn, on deletion, if you have 10 or more in your trash, you may play a Beelzemon for free. And the inherent, while this Digimon has Wizard or Demon Lore in its trait, gain 2000 DP. Now, I do prefer the other Balmon from BT10 more. So I rather play 4 of the other one because at least the when destroy ability doesn't go away, and this only lasts pretty much only for 2 turns. The current turn that it's Digivolving and then your opponent's turn. So I'm not too fond about this one. I think the BT10 is a lot better. Okay, now for the level 6s, and yes, he's only playing 4 level 5s, is because this deck is trashing quite a bit, and with your bras you could add them back to your hand, so you don't really need to play that many level 5. I see a lot of people maxing out on the level 5s and playing more than 4, but it's really not necessary at all. Okay, then we have 2 Beelzemon from the structure deck, which is amazing, and it's definitely mandatory to play at least 2 because this is what's going to let you trash 4 cards plus all turns you gain memory whenever you trash. For every 10 cards gain 1 memory, so this could be applied on your opponent's turn as well. And then your turn, when a card is trashed, it gains security +1, which is quite good. Okay, then we have 1 Beelzemon from the structure deck. Now I'm always on and off with this card. I like it, but it's so situational that it becomes to the point that it's not really too necessary to play, but you can still definitely play. It's not an issue. So for every 10 cards in your trash, reduce the play cost by 4. So you're going to need quite a bit just to maximize on this, because even just like 3 is 12. So yeah, so if you have 30 cards, then it only going to cost 1. And if you manage to have more than 30, then you're pretty much close to decking out. So yeah, that's going to be a big issue. But yeah, so all turn, once per turn, when a card is trashed from your deck, you may play Impmon and it gains Rush. And then opponent's turn, when your opponent attacks, trust the top card of your deck. So it's really good with the other Beelzemon, because then you can start gaining on your opponent's turn if you have both of them out. Okay, next we have 3 Beelzemon EX2. Now we've been seeing an increase of this lately. So now we've been seeing people playing 3 or 4, which makes sense because now, since we're very limited of one specific action, we have to go towards another, which is spamming like Impmon. So now you kind of want to actually play multiple Beelzemon. Before, people were playing this at 1 or 2. Now we've been seeing a lot of 3 or 4s of this one. Then we have 2 Beelzemon X Antibody, okay, which is very, very good. It's not really a necessity most of the time, but at the same time, it is a really good card. It just, my experience with this card is that it's not something that has always been like mandatory to play, and it's been more of like every time we could play this, we were already in a very good situation and already had enough for a game anyways. But just a little like precaution, because then at least by trashing the security, you know you're not going to hit any option cards that's going to cripple you and ruin your play. So that's the aspect that I say is really good of it. Then 1 Beelzemon Blast Mode, which I'm kind of surprised. So the structure deck 14, I've been seeing a lot of people playing only 1 now. So before, a lot of people were playing like 2 constantly, but now it's been at 1 majority of the decks that I've been looking at. Then we have 4 Alomokoko from the structure deck. So this is on play, reveal the top 4 cards. I want Digimon with Evil, Wizard, or Demon Lord. And also place the Weeming under the deck. And then when you Digivolve, you could place a purple Digimon, suspend it, place it on top of your deck, and then draw, no, not draw, gain a memory. My bad, I completely purchased it. So when you Digivolve, purple Digimon on top of your deck, suspend this card and gain 1 memory. Done. Simple as that. And it play cost us 3, so you can actually spam this quite a bit of times, and it is really good. I'm just not too sure if it's really better than the other one, because I feel like in most situations you kind of want to start with 3 memories, while this one, if your opponent is putting you at 1 memory, then yeah, you gain an additional. But I don't know, I prefer the other one a lot more actually. Okay, next we have 3 Roaring Short, or Barrage, whichever you want to call it. Surprisingly, you're playing on 3. I would actually max out on 4. I see a lot of builds maxing out on 4, and I think that's the correct one. But yeah, so when it's trash, play in the battle area. Okay, main effect is delete one of your opponent's Digimon with the highest level, and then the delay is that you can return a purple Digimon or Tamer. Security is delete one of your opponent's Digimon with the highest level. So quite good. Then we have 3 Miss Memory Boost. So a lot of people are optimizing towards this, or even Darkness Wave. So trust the top 2 cards of a deck, trigger, draw 1, okay. And then the delay is trash it to gain 2 memory. Quite good. Okay, then we have 2 Gunslinger, Death Gunslinger Shot, wherever, or Corona Destroyer. Nice. So yeah, gain additional memory. So you do have to max out on this and gain per F4. And then finally we have this 7-fold cluster, which is okay. Trash your turn when your Digimon digivolve into a Beelzemon X Antibody by returning this card from your trash to the bottom of your deck. Delete one of your opponent's Digimon with the lowest level. So you could get rid of like nuisance cards when you Digivolve. And also the main is delete one of your opponent's Digimon with the lowest level. So quite good. Really like this card because it has 2 abilities, and you could technically apply both of them. So it's really good. If you have enough memory, you could definitely activate it, then Digivolve, and then activate it again. So pretty good card to get rid of your opponent's like any restrictive rookies that they have. And that's it for the deck profile. Now, if you guys enjoy the new version of the Beelzemon decks, definitely like and subscribe. And if you want a sneak peek of future products we're planning to review here on the channel, you can follow me on my Instagram, VaughnGear. I'm Vaughn, and this was the Gear Channel.